So I just finished playing It Comes in Waves, and it's a stunningly beautiful exploration survival game. Normally I script out my videos before talking about them, but I'm just sort of winging this one. The game left a really big impression on me. It has a rather unassuming gameplay loop. Like, if you were to ask me what you do in the game, you wander around a desert looking for collectibles, trying to get a meter to fill up, and there's vast stretches of emptiness between practically everything, but the gameplay isn't really the purpose of It Comes in Waves, because It Comes in Waves is art first and a product second. The reason you're wandering these wastelands is because your character, the outcast, has done something absolutely dreadful, something unspeakably terrible, so unspeakably terrible that you aren't allowed to know what it is. But you're setting off on a journey to grow a specimen you have stored in your backpack, and once you grow the specimen, you can enter the sanctuary gates and gain forgiveness. That's the hope anyway. So you're traversing this vast, dangerous desert, and it's mostly empty, but that's not to say that it isn't tense and terrifying. Like, there are these drought raiders that are wandering the wasteland, and they'll kill anyone they see for water. You want to avoid them as much as you can, but naturally, if you kill them yourself, you get some of their water. It's a very dangerous proposition. Your gun isn't great, and any other guns you find aren't particularly great either. They're marginally better on occasion. Your water is also constantly running out, so you have to look for water tanks, which, as you imagine, are pretty scarce in a desert. The sky is so threatening and like eerily beautiful. There's this windy howling that you hear everywhere. All of the locations are desolate and lifeless, and the only beacon of hope is like occasionally, while you're scanning the distance, squinting, hoping you'll see a water tank or a water efficiency boost, you'll see a green glow. And those green glows are the tanks you use to grow your specimen. And you want to find those tanks because without them, your specimen won't grow fast enough and you'll die before you can reach Sanctuary. The Sanctuary gates will only open when the specimen is fully grown. This is really a game about the atmosphere. It's all about the romantic premise of it all. And, you know, I think the interactive elements add a lot. It's one thing to watch someone walking through an endless desert to gain forgiveness. It's another thing to be the guy walking through an endless desert to obtain forgiveness. And I feel like the slow pacing and the heavy atmosphere and the terrifying combat encounters, it just adds so much to the experience. This is what I think is missing in most video games, is that most video games are about fun, and I think that's like kind of a boring thing to base an interactive experience around. Like, everyone likes having fun, right? Who doesn't? I enjoy fun. I play plenty of video games that are fun. But I think interactive art could be so much more than just fun. It's an experience, you know? You can use video games to live in someone else's world, in someone else's shoes, and experience things you never could in the real world, and in shocking new ways that challenge your preconceptions of art and identity and the human condition. And that's what I'm after. And it comes in waves. It's beautiful, right? Like, I don't want to say something like it's not for everyone, because not only is that obvious, but art shouldn't have to be for everyone. This is a beautiful work of art. I loved it. I enjoyed playing it. It's merciless because it has to be merciless. It's dull because it has to be dull. I was enraptured the entire time. I love this game. I highly recommend, if you're into if you're into similar artistic works, you give this a look. It's wonderful, I think.